The way verb tenses work in the two languages is very similar. Almost all verb tenses have an exact equivalent in the other language, just with slightly different conjugations. So in Spanish we have
Nosotros comemos pescado.
which means we eat fish. And in Portuguese that would be
Nós comemos peixe.
So the present tense form is the same. And next a past tense sentence. In Spanish,
Ellos comieron pescado.
they ate fish. And in Portuguese,
Eles comeram peixe.
in this case the conjugations aren't exactly the same, but they are equivalent. Now a future sentence. In Spanish,
Yo comeré pescado.
which means I will eat fish. And in Portuguese it's
Eu comerei peixe.
But without any context given for the simple future tense here, this might sound kind of stiff, and people often use the going to future form instead. In Portuguese it would be,
Eu vou comer peixe.
and in Spanish it would be.
Yo voy a comer pescado.
One difference in the verb system is that the perfect tense is formed with a different auxiliary verb. Spanish uses
Haber.
as the auxiliary verb, which means to have, but only as an auxiliary verb. The main verb for to have in Spanish is.
Tener.
Portuguese has a verb,
Haver.
but instead the verb
Ter.
is used as the auxiliary verb, which means to have.
Ter.
Is a cognate of Spanish.
Tener.
In Spanish we have,
Yo he leído el libro.
which means I have read the book. And in Portuguese we have,
Eu tenho lido o livro.
which means I have been reading the book. So notice that the auxiliary verbs are different. And notice that the past participle of the verb meaning read is almost the same. But more importantly, note that this type of sentence means something different in either language. In Spanish it means I have read the book. In Portuguese it means I have been reading the book. In other words, the past action is still continuing. In order to say I have read the book in Portuguese, you would use the preterite tense instead, like this.
Eu li o livro.
I believe that Latin American Spanish is more like Portuguese in this regard. And that difference is only in the present perfect. The past perfect doesn't have that kind of difference. So if we want to express they had read the book, in Spanish we would say,
Habían leído el libro.
and in Portuguese we would say.
Eles tinham lido o livro.
The main difference between these two is just the auxiliary verb.